Okay. My name is Brenton Bonanno, as Matt said, and I grew up in this church. My parents started coming to this church when I was about 2 years old, and I've been here ever since. I got saved in this church when I was 8 years old, so I got saved at a very young age and grew up in this church, and I love this church. I really do. A lot of fond memories of being at this church, playing basketball in the gym for hours on end on Wednesday nights and Sunday afternoons, and climbing the hill I don't know how many times, playing paintball in the woods, and we used to have kickball right out here. Now it's a parking lot, unfortunately. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot, right? So that was our paradise, playing kickball there. But I loved growing up at this church. But I will say one of the things about being saved at a young age and growing up in a church, especially like ours, where you get a lot of knowledge, you get a lot of Bible, you learn a lot of things, is it's very easy to get complacent. And Wayne, I keep kicking this thing. Sorry. It's very easy to get complacent. And several years ago, that's where I kind of found myself, just coming in here Sundays, Wednesdays, doing what we're supposed to do, right? And God really started to convict me about where my walk with Him was. And He used a passage in Deuteronomy, and we know about Israel when they came out of Egypt and they wandered around for 40 years, right? It was an 11-day journey. Should have taken 11 days, 40 years, right? And that's kind of where I felt like I was, very complacent with my walk. And in Deuteronomy chapter 2, verses 1 through 3, it says, Moses is talking here, he says, "Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as the Lord spake unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many days. And the Lord spake unto me, saying, Ye have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn northward." And so that really spoke to me. It was almost like that was exactly what God was saying to me. You have wandered around. You have compassed this mountain long enough. What are you doing for me? What are you doing that is going to have an eternal impact for my kingdom? And I was kicking myself about that. I was really struggling about that. And I remember thinking, you got saved at 8 years old. You're now in your 30s. What have you done for God? Honestly, what have you done? And, I jumped through the hoops. I followed the steps. I got discipled. I discipled some people. But what have you really done? And so God was really just laying that on my heart. And I remember just praying about it. I remember talking to my wife, Christina, saying, we need to do more. I need to do more. What can we do? And I'm so thankful for her and her conviction. She was in the same place I was. Like, yeah, let's start praying about it. So we started praying about it and just asking God, where can we serve? What can we do that is going to have an impact for you? And so the first thing we did, we signed up for MTT. We thought that was a great first step. And so we signed up for MTT. And as we were going through that, shortly after, Craig called us and said, hey, I'd like to meet with you guys, and asked if we would take over for the 4th and 5th grade class. And so we said, well, we'll talk about it. And we went home, talked about it, we prayed about it, and we were like, look, this is what we've been praying about. And God opened a door for us. Let's just be faithful and step through it. And let's just follow the door that God has opened for us. So we decided to do that, and we've been in there now, I think 4 or 5 years now. Okay, 3 years. My wife just held up 3. 3 years. Sorry, didn't mean to sound better than it was. 3 years. But we really love where we're serving. We love the people that are helping us in the 4th and 5th grade and serving alongside of us. Again, we just continue to pray. God, what else do you have for us? What else would you want us to do? And Joel had asked us if we would come into family life and help a little bit in there. So we're kind of doing both things right now, and it's going great. So when we're not in the 4th and 5th grade, we are helping a little bit with family life when we can be in there. And I continued to decide, Lord, what else do you want me to do? I just want to follow you. So I took some LFBI classes. I'm currently taking some LFBI classes, and basically just to continue to grow. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want to be sitting in the pew doing nothing. And so I wanted to continue to grow and be able to be a better minister and be able to do more with whatever God has for me and be prepared for that. And that's why one of the main reasons why I signed up to take LFBI classes was just to be able to do that. If God had something more for me, I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to say, okay, God, you'll have to wait a few years and let me grow a little more. I wanted to just continue to do that. And so that's where I'm at right now, and that's what God has been doing in me for the last few years, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for my wife who supports me being gone on Thursdays and Sundays and taking the time to do that. And I'm thankful for this church, as Matt said, that gives us a path for growth. And but it really is up to us. It was up to me to make that decision to do those things. And nobody was forcing me. Nobody was telling me to do it. I just felt like God really wanted me to do it. I just felt like he continued to lay that on my heart, and I just wanted to follow and be faithful in that. So that's it.